What up?
Yo, what's up? Um, again, there I was just sitting in the thing and I was having a look through, and then I realized there's a load more features been updated to the system
Mm.
thing there. So there's like all this music and extra transitions that I had no idea existed.
It's always fun to find new buttons to play with.
Like this, I don't know what this does or if anybody can hear this.
Oh, you know that. Sounds like something I'd hear if I walked into a spa.
I don't know if this is anything or not. Random.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like elevator music by the sounds of it.
Glow sticks out for the other one.
What is this like?
What's that? Sounds like something you'd make on like a Casio.
Yeah, this is like
the pre-recorded, beats that it comes with.
It's like years ago when phones first had ringtones.
Yeah, and they just sort of sounded like it.
Yeah,
basically like the music you'd get from like a Nintendo game.
How are you? How have you been?
I'm fantastic. I'm really excited for this movie because I realized as we were talking, I don't think I've ever actually seen the whole thing all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces, but this is a gap I have.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it the whole way through, but it's probably been that long. Like I really can't remember anything about it other than obviously Arnie is in it. Gabriel Byrne plays Satan.
Yeah, I just remember some scene in the church that I think was at the end, but
yeah, and
a lot of fire
or explosions or something.
Yeah,
I don't remember anything else about what's going on or why.
It almost seems like a weird vehicle for Schwarzenegger, especially at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's all like, I think there's a lot of religious over whatever tones.
And I had looked at a little bit of stuff beforehand, and like he was like super excited to make this movie. He was like super involved in like all the little minute details.
Yeah.
Which seems a little bit strange in a way for like you said, like it has like those religious undertones and
it's not like his normal bread and butter of like just a straight up action.
Yeah, like I get it, it's an actiony movie, but like I feel like there's a lot more to it that I wouldn't necessarily put in his wheelhouse.
Right. That's what I'm excited to see how he handles anything else.
After the screen, I'm just trying to pull this thing up here again.
Oh man, I'm really excited. Oh. No screensaver, come on. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm just pulling this thing up here.
Oh, good.
Have you watched anything good recently?
Oh man, Peacemaker's so good.
Dude, I can't watch it.
Oh really?
I can't get it. I literally can't get the movie no matter what I've tried. I got the first episode.
VPN?
Yeah, and it went like halfway through and then it just kept like freezing and refreshing.
Oh, that's HBO Max's app is just like they have some of the best content out of any streaming service. Their app is shit. Like, God help you if you try to like pause or fast forward, like it fucks everything up.
And it's been annoying me because so many people have been talking about it, and I'm like, oh, all I want to do is.
You even have HBO Max there? No.
If
you need a login, you can use mine. I don't care.
It's worth watching though, yeah.
It's so good. I mean, it's
so many people have said that.
Oh, I still want to. One of these days, we got to do the Belko Experiment. I love that movie.
That's such a good movie.
I really enjoyed that movie.
There we go. That's what I've been looking for. Here we go.
That was one that like set up a larger world that they're just never going to go back to, which I
kind
of respect. Like at the end, it's like, oh, this could keep going, but it just isn't going to. Like James Gunn's too big now. Like he's not going to go back to.
All right, so before we jump into this, I guess this will help both of us because
Mm.
none of us know or remember. This is like the basic plot.
Okay, yeah.
December 28th, 1999, the citizens of New York City,
Oh,
you,
what
one
up?
of all you,
Whole
are
time.
getting ready for the turn of the millennium. However, the devil decides to crash the party by coming to the city, um, inhabiting a man's body and searching for his chosen bride, a 20-year-old woman named Christine York. If he bears her child between 11 p.m. and midnight on New Year's Eve, the world will end, and the only hope lies within an
Time
atheist.
restrained.
Yeah, that which seems really
Wow.
it's very specific time frame.
Yeah, I didn't know like theology had a watch.
Um, the only hope lies with an atheist ex-cop named Jericho Cane, who no longer believes in God because of the murder of his
Is
wife.
that Schwarzenegger's character Jericho Cane?
Yep.
Oh my god. That is wow, that's an all-time name.
I have a feeling this one's going to be like ridiculous.
Oh, that I'm so much more, I was excited before, but jeez, that might be the greatest action movie name of all time. Like it's not even trying to hide it. It's just like whose name? No one's named that. That's fucking absurd. Fuck yes. Oh man, I'm excited.
Well, whenever you're ready to go, then give us the countdown or
All right,
usually.
let's start it.
And now, our feature presentation.
Go.
If this audio at any point is bothering anybody, just let me know in the chat, or if it's bothering you, Josh, just let me know.
Yeah, I actually kind of like it because I turn mine all the way down so it doesn't come through, so that I can still kind of hear it.
I need to get some kind of a better setup or figure out how to do this.
Yeah, it is wild that like it just doesn't seem to
I even reached out
cooperate with
to
it.
the company that make the thing both of us have,
Yeah,
and I just got no reply.
yeah. Because well, I guess I don't watch it on. Well, because it's weird because I'll have like my work computer still up and I'll get like message dings and stuff that I'm always worried that are gonna and like no one can hear them.
No, I
So
never
I mean
hear anything.
that should be the same idea because I don't watch the movie on my computer, so we don't have to worry about that coming through. But you think it'd be the same kind of thing, you know?
So, a little bit of backstory about this movie. So this was Arnie's first movie since Batman and Robin in '97.
Oh,
That 2 year gap, because remember he had the heart surgery that time.
oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he had like apparently like
What's his
crazy
name?
heart surgery. And studios wouldn't. He just disappeared basically. I
Oh,
forgot
because
about all
like
this.
insurance stuff.
Yeah, the studios didn't know whether they should or could even insure him.
Yeah,
And he was trying to convince all these different companies that he was in perfect health.
that
And
actually makes sense because he kind of like went away for a minute.
yeah,
And I didn't really know why, and then he came back like with this and like the Sixth Day, like a couple movies that like I never saw because they just look bad.
and you know what's funny? I had seen something recently. I don't know if it was like a documentary or behind the scenes, but it was something to do with him. And when you think about it, it is really strange because he disappeared, I guess, in a lot of ways, in the height of his career.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
I
around
mean
the
that.
time he was playing, Mr. Freeze,
Yeah,
like a superstar at that point.
yeah, like he was as big as they get. Oh man, like you couldn't hear that bring sound, right?
Nope.
I just got like a message. I'm still I'm logged in at work, still working.
What time are you at right now?
I'm at God. This is so many credits. 247. What are you at?
309.
Okay. I'll fast forward.
Just let me know when I'm paused.
309 right now.
Because I don't know what's happening with mine. It's like shitty.
This movie's long too. It's like 2 hours.
Yeah. I didn't realize that till I was like pulling up, and I was like, "Wait a second, what?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What could possibly be 2 hours about
Right.
this?"
What are they gonna do here? This is like. This feels a lot like I'm getting a lot of like Constantine aesthetic from this.
Yep.
Which I've still never seen. I started watching it once the other day, and I was like, you know what? I'm not in the right headspace for this kind of movie. I can't do this right now. But I've been meaning to. I love the character of John Constantine in the comics, but I'm also aware that movie is in name only. Like, it's not really.
Yeah.
Is it the Pope?
I would imagine it's supposed to be. Yeah, this is the Vatican City, I think. All right. Okay. So these must have prior knowledge of whatever is going on. I do know that this movie is like notorious across the internet for being extremely dark, and not as in because when I used to see people talk about it, yeah, like and apparently it caused loads of issues when they tried to edit the film afterwards. And I think the guy who might have lit the movie was like, I don't want to say blacklisted, but
Like,
yeah. I think he kind of like was kind of pushed to the side. He always worked with the same team on all these big movies.
Yeah.
And I think after this, like he was like pushed
Just
to the
did
side
it.
because I think Arnie was the one that said like it's too dark, it's awful looking. And I think off the back of that, whoever, director of photography or whatever was like, okay, get rid of the light guy, get rid of anyone had anything to do with it.
That the Pope is that Tio Salamanca from Breaking Bad? Have you seen Breaking Bad?
Yep. Yeah.
Like the guy in the wheelchair that had the stroke? I think that was the Pope.
Is it?
I think it was. Oh shit, now I have to look this up.
This was also the last movie to be pressed in Laserdisc.
Really? Laserdisc. Oh man. My only memory of Laserdisc was sitting in biology class in high school, and one of my friends popped the Laserdisc out of the machine, and there was a window right next to us, and he just dunked it in the snow, and it ruined it, and it caught, and everyone got in trouble, but like no one ratted on it. But I remember just like sitting like and getting lectured, being like, "This costs like $800," like this and that, and we're like, "Ooh." That's my only Laserdisc memory.
I've never actually seen or laid hands on a Laserdisc ever.
Yeah.
It was something that was like extremely foreign to me. I was like, I don't ever remember them being.
Yeah, I mean they're just giant CDs.
Yeah.
It is. It's Hector Salamanca. It's Hector. It is. That's so good. That makes me happy.
Charlotte said we used to watch them in one of my science classes.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's probably like how birds are made or something, and now I'll never know because we ruined it.
Wait, is that dude? I know him. The dude with the snake in his hand.
Yeah, that's
He has some weird name, isn't he? Like a German guy or something?
That is. I have the freaking IMDb up. Let's see.
He's like one of those people that's in like lots of movies.
Yeah. Some sort of doctor, right?
This is supposed to like be unsettling, right?
I think.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm pretty settled. It must be the OBGYN. David Weissenberg.
No, I feel like.
Maybe that's not him. I don't know.
Let me see. End of days.
WBAZ time is 8:06. 3 more nights.
Birds aren't made. They're not real. You know that. Birds aren't real. It's a deep state psyop. They don't exist.
Every computer fails. 3 more nights until the biggest celebration in the history.
They're a byproduct of chemtrails that made our frogs gay. Everyone knows that. See? They know. Birds aren't real.
There's that. I need to know who that guy is.
It's gonna stick in your craw, isn't it?
What you got there, Charlie? I don't know.
That's right. The proletariat wants you to think that birds are real. I'm just saying.
That dude is not
I
a
don't know what any of
priest.
this means. Good.
Who have we got in the chat right now? Everybody put a comment in, say something.
He's the means of production. Nothing's more frightening than a bird with a hammer and a sickle. That's terrifying. I can hear that quite a bit, which doesn't bother me. I just worry that to get it taken down. You know?
It probably will get flagged straight.
Yeah, I worry. That's the only reason. I actually like being able to hear it because I basically have mine on mute.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave it, right? And I want to see what the outcome of it is.
See how many... I mean, it's just ridiculous that... Like, whose job is that? To find... Like,
And also,
this
like, I mean...
tiny little
what can
stream, like... How's that worth it to you? Like, just
But
let
what-
it happen.
Like, what can anybody even really do with the audio from a 20-something-year-old movie?
You should just be happy anyone is even giving a shit about this movie. Oh, Charlotte would know. She used to work for Google.
Boo.
Yeah, I outed you. That happened.
Yeah. She could be undercover right now.
That's right. I know. She's
It's
the
Charlotte.
bot.
Actually, Charlotte, that's what it is.
Yeah, she's just narking on us every single time. Your cover's blown, sweetheart. You were, and you don't work there anymore. You work for a much more reputable company now. Which I will not say.
Gabriel Byrne plays the devil in this movie, right? Doesn't he play
No idea.
priest?
Oh, what is some Hollow Man shit going on here? What's going
Yeah,
on?
I see that there.
I love Verhoeven, and that is like one I haven't fully seen the entire thing of.
Hollow Man?
Pretty sure that was also like he did that, right? With like
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon. That was like his last like Hollywood movie. I'm pretty sure that's like what made him just go back to like Denmark and make
I really want
and just
to-
make his own films.
I really want to do that movie either on stream or podcast or both.
Which one?
Hollow Man.
I'll do that. I mean, I'll do anything him. Like he's my muse. Him and Nancy Allen are my two favorite people in the world, and Michael Biehn. Let's not pretend.
Oh, wow.
What is happening?
Ooh, that's CG.
It's what?
That's CG there a second ago. Yikes.
Which part? I didn't even notice.
What part are you on right now?
It's something just blew up.
Yeah,
Oh, him walking out of the fire.
yeah. So I'm a bit ahead of you somehow again.
Yeah, how do you keep in the head?
I don't
I'm
know.
at 12:47.
Now this shit
Is like, do seconds work faster in Ireland? Is it like a
It-
Celsius thing or a
it's
metric
this
thing?
illegal stream I have.
You watching it like
That's
one
what
and a
it
half
is.
speed?
should play it safe, not put your
Jesus
job.
Christ.
Tell you something else. In 2 more nights, this place is going to see the wildest party ever.
What time are you at?
13, 14, 15, and so on and so forth.
With the first 100 callers, we're going to make the most.
Let me know when you get to like 25.
Now.
I don't know
Arnold
why
and his gun.
keep stopping and skipping and going forward and stuff.
Yeah, because we've done this like 3 times, and somehow you're always like 25 seconds ahead of me.
Because I look away and I'm like looking at you or I'm looking at something else, and then I look back, I'm like, wait a sec, we're in a different scene.
The birds do run on DMT.
Honey, I'm home.
Ask Joe Rogan, he knows.
Just putting myself together.
That's going to take a lot more pulling. You are looking very sharp this morning.
Thanks.
No, I think we're synced.
Welcome. About 5 minutes to get ready.
I have mine muted, but as the subtitles come on, I can hear it. That's Kevin Pollak, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I like him.
Now just some Wall Street scumbag.
How the hell? It's protection.
I wish he fucked with some people that didn't like being fucked with.
Personally,
I love the hangover cure of just like putting whatever in a blender, like, to show this guy's like at his end and he's down. Just put a piece of pizza in there.
I still need to find out
Chinese food and a piece of pizza.
who that dude is.
That's fantastic.
say breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Most important meal of the day. This is ridiculous. I love it.
Someone find out for me who that guy was from earlier with the snake.
You still can't let that go, can you?
No, I can't. That's really bothering me. He's one of those like character actors that I'm like, he's in everything.
I respect that. Once I get something in my head, I'm like, I need to be able to figure this out.
I want to say he's like German or Austrian or something like that. But I'm trying to look at the cast here, and the name is just not popping out to me. And I feel like he has a really bizarre name. He doesn't.
Yeah,
have
I mean,
like
I was looking for a character name, and like OBGYN was the only one I could think of, but it was just like Wasserman or something.
it's actually still baffling. Like, and fair play to him, but it's kind of baffling when you think about it, how Arnie became like such a superstar in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, you really shouldn't have, especially because like Conan was like the movie that started him, and we recently did that. That movie stinks. We watched the Momoa one, the remake,
Oh yeah.
this week. That movie's awesome. I loved it. It's not good.
I
But-
haven't seen
Like the problem with the first Conan, like for what we do, like I'm sitting there trying to like take notes, and there's just like no through line. Nothing really makes sense.
Yeah.
Really long. They linger on things that don't need to be for long periods of time, and then like major plot points are just like like 2 seconds are devoted to it, and it just frustrated me. I'm like, how do I even talk about this? Because I don't really know what's going on. But the new one, it's just Momoa kicking ass for 2 hours, and it's fantastic. You can follow the story, everything.
Yeah.
That's all I want. Just let me follow your story. I'm not that smart. I need it to be simple. All right, someone's trying to assassinate someone.
From what I can see right now, there's 15 people watching.
Nice.
Somebody has got to know
Yeah.
who that guy
Someone-
is.
Someone scratch this brain itch for Aaron.
Jesus, it's killing me.
He's not going to shut up about
I
it.
feel like it's right in front of me, and like the more I look at the cast, the farther away it is, and I'm like, why can't I?
I can always connect that eventually. Like It just like get deep in the brain. I'm like, I start thinking of different things. I'm like, how does this connect? Is that like eventually I'll make that like when you know it's in your brain.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like, I have to make the right connection.
Also
Fuck down
crazy.
here.
Yeah, also crazy. I know now it's become like a meme and it's like one of those things, but it is actually a bit bizarre how he became a leading man with such a thick accent.
Yeah. Like he actually is a decent actor. Like he has some
Yeah.
chops. But it's
And-
just so tough because he has this thick accent. It's like it's hard to take him seriously.
And I want to say, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong or if you know. I want to say when he came to the States, he could barely speak English,
Yeah, I think that's true.
which is like when you think about it, like the
Yeah,
willpower and the determination that he had to actually do what he done.
right. I couldn't be an actor with English as my first language, let alone my second.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a testament to him and his abilities.
I'd like to see Joe Rogan go over to Matt Elhuddy's house and properly dose him. DMT.
If you're not microdosing, you're not trying.
Since you know they both reside in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, because they left California because
Yeah.
they're douchebags. Fuck Joe Rogan. I'll say it.
What?
I said fuck Joe Rogan.
You know what, right? I used to be like, because I've been an MMA fan for probably 20 years. And that's how I first came across Joe Rogan. I didn't really, and then
Right.
I started to watch his podcast when it was like done through one of those like weird like fisheye lenses. It was like terrible quality, and I had been following him since then. And to be honest with you, in recent years, in the last maybe 4-ish years, I cannot stand Joe Rogan.
I kind of liked him for a little while too, and now I think he's just like hit that level of fame where it's
Yeah,
like
it's just
no
and
one
especially
tells him he's wrong or like, and he's just been so successful. It's like whatever I say is gold, and like
yeah.
like,
And as soon as he signed with Spotify that time, I think it just made it worse. He went to like that next level.
I'm fascinated by him because I do believe he's an intelligent person.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like,
Yep.
some like the things he's done recently, like
I
that's
think he's
that's
just
what'll
like,
get me to make you not like you is like spouting off like dangerous things that are actually hurting people. Like,
yeah. I think
here's what
in
he's doing
the
now.
good,
I just don't know how someone with a brain can like go down that road. It always fascinates me.
and I mean, look, I was all for it. I used to watch a lot of his stuff, surrounding Bigfoot and UFOs and things like that. I don't necessarily believe or disbelieve or anything. I just found it interesting and fun to listen to some of the wacky conversations.
Yeah.
But he was never really, even when he believed in things, like at one point, I think he was like fixated on Bigfoot being real. But he was never really trying to
the
make.
feeling it was like a bit of a shtick.
Yeah,
Right.
but he was never like trying to make people believe or
Right.
oh, I'm right because.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like now, every time he has a podcast, there's like an agenda tied to it, and I'm like, oh,
Yes, that's exactly
go
it.
away.
And you're just wrong.
Charlotte says, "Remember when he was just a Fear Factor guy?"
I
Yeah.
do.
Does anyone remember actually when he was?
I liked when he called out Carlos Mencia for stealing jokes.
Yeah.
That was my favorite Joe Rogan, where he went on stage and just eviscerated him.
Didn't he? I
What,
don't know.
Greg?
Was it Carlos Mencia, or was it somebody else? Didn't he like nearly beat the shit out of someone backstage as well at a comedy gig?
It was probably him. I
Yeah, it
mean,
could have been him. I think he was like mouthing off, and he
'cause
might
he
have
like hated him. Because like the worst thing you can do in that arena is like steal people's jokes, and apparently that's what he was just doing repeatedly.
Get down or I'll put you down. 1,000 years has ended. You don't.
Who's this old dude that seems to know everything about the prophecy?
Yeah, he's like a homeless whistler.
Oh, Greg is here, right? So Greg might know. German foreign actor in lots of movies, Greg, that was some sort of doctor priest guy cutting up a snake on top of the baby at the start of this movie. Please tell me
Yeah, you just have that like lodged in your frontal cortex. Trying
And
to
I
steal
know
his money?
I've probably read this movie, or I've probably read this guy's name now about 50 times off the page in front of me, and I just can't. Like,
You don't accept it?
it's not that character. It's not that character. It can't be that character.
So what is Arnold here? Like, what's his job?
I assume he's a detective, is it? It doesn't
I
really
thought
make
he
it
was
very
a
clear, does
cop.
it? Oh, this
Like, I
guy's
don't know what's going on. There's CCH. Love Pounder.
okay. So Charlotte said, I don't know who he is, but I found a website that identifies all the different kinds of snakes.
Of course you would.
That's a mountain rattlesnake.
Thanks. That's super helpful. You and your reptiles.
Oh, she's in lots of stuff as well.
Yeah,
isn't she?
CCH Pounder.
Oh yeah.
She's awesome.
The guy doesn't have a tongue.
He doesn't have a tongue. His little tongue.
Are you saying that I imagined all this? Saved the life today. What the hell did you do? No, I know what I hear.
Udo?
What
Was it?
was the snake?
That's the head
Yes.
priest.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. That's him. That's
Yeah, I
him.
think you're right. Well done, Mike. Look at that. Every time Mike Stang from the rafters. He got the theatrical shop last time. He got
Yeah, yeah.
his name. Like, I feel like we need to employ him.
Yeah, that's him. He's German.
He's doing more for our stream, like more production value. Like, we need to bring Mike on to be a producer because
Okay, so
he's our Joe Rogan's Jamie. Like,
basically,
like pull it up. Give me that mic, and he's got it.
yeah, this is that
Thanks,
guy.
Mike.
He has 271 acting credits.
Jesus. That's a
Let's see. What is it I was remembering him from?
cherry. Yeah.
There's definitely, I don't know.
This is awesome.
Oh, that's it. He was in Blade.
Oh, he was in Blade, right? He was one of like the old vampires.
Yeah.
Like the counts, like the boardroom vampires, right?
Yep.
That's right. Oh, Blade. If they don't, I'm really excited for Mahershala Ali to play Blade. They need to make Wesley Snipes Whistler. Like, that's so easy. That's so perfect. It's like if they don't do that, I'm gonna be disappointed.
If they had came out and said, at the time, if they had brought it out and said, "Yeah, Wesley is going to be Blade again," would you have been happy about that, or would you thought that was just terrible?
I would have been okay with it. I feel like he's like by the end he was like too big, and like we're talking about with Rogan, it's just like he was too much. I think he's humbled himself since then. Probably going to jail helped.
And losing all his money.
Yeah, like I feel like he's a little more down to earth, and like I would have been fine with that. I mean, but Mahershala Ali, like Oscar-winning actor, like yeah, let's go. Like he's about as good as you get.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'd like to see. I mean, just like a little thing, like Snipes was trying to come back, and then when he wasn't cast, he was still like, "Hey, like I'm happy for you, like you're gonna kill it."
Yeah.
Like that's not something he would have done 10 years, 15 years. You know,
Yeah, he would just like talk shit.
Late Trinity days, he would have been like, you know, he would have lit every bridge on fire. So I'd love to see him come back in some respect, and that seems like just a no-brainer. I'd also accept Chris Christopherson again because he's awesome.
He is. I'll give you that. He is.
He's so good. I remember Command and Conquer. Mike, did we used to play Command and Conquer like over the internet, like against each other? I used to play with some people. I don't remember who. We might have played that. I love Command and Conquer. Was that you?
Studied at the Vatican. He was one of their alleged visionaries. Came here in 81 to see John's church downtown. 6 months ago, he disappeared. Priests there say he was having a spiritual crisis.
Oh, yeah. That's what this is about. Spiritual crisis.
Doesn't make any sense. I mean, what's a priest doing shooting at the Wall Street bank?
What's a priest doing shooting at a Wall Street banker? Is a line they just said. That's fucking fantastic.
God. Appreciate it.
It really has.
Oh, speaking of Command and Conquer, one of the women from cutscenes was in Anaconda. Oh, now her name's escaping me. See, now that's gonna bother me. Hold on. Anaconda.
Okay, that dude is freaky. That albino looking dude. Holy shit. Look at him.
His character name is Albino, by the way.
Or is that that's a dude, right?
Yeah.
And I know maybe that comes across like really offensive.
Harry Wooher, that's it. I got there before I pulled it up. She was in the Command and Conquer cutscenes. The Red Alert ones, not the regular. That's a game I need to revisit.
You. He's coming for you, Christine.
How do you know my name?
He's gonna fuck you. He's gonna fuck you, Christine. Can you see him? Can you see him?
Who are you?
That's upsetting. What?
Fuck you, Christine.
That's really upsetting.
I feel like you couldn't do that nowadays either.
No, and you shouldn't.
That would never make a pass now, ever.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think that'd make it off the script page.
That is accurate for a New York subway that everyone just like doesn't do anything.
I don't want your
That's
problem.
pretty accurate where they're all just like, all right. And, like no one stood up and like
Don't
looked
bother
away.
me.
They're just like
Whatever.
Yeah, they're like, don't make eye contact. Like this man just shattered into glass, but I'm getting off in 2 stops, so I'm not bothered.
I find every time I've ever been on the subway in the city, and I haven't been with another guy, I've been on like super high alert. Like my anxiety is
Really?
like, through the roof. Like a couple of years back when I went with my girlfriend at the time, it was her first time in the States, and like every time we had to take the subway, my anxiety was like through the roof. I was like,
See, I've never felt that. Like I went some down like Twitter rabbit hole of people talking about being in the city and they have like they carry like 2 wallets for if they're like mugged. Like I've never
felt that.
No, like I've never felt unsafe here at all. Like, fuck yeah, Mike. I knew we played Command and Conquer together. Fucking knew it. But yeah, it's not dangerous here. This is like, I don't know, maybe I'm just oblivious.
Yeah, like I never really felt in danger myself. It was more so I had this weird, like, I need to make sure like she's good or something. And then probably
Yeah, I think for
my own safety.
I think it's different for guys. Like, I'm not worried about anything. Like, you don't have to worry about a lot of different things that they would have to worry about.
Have you ever seen any crazy mad shit or anything in the city?
Oh yeah, like I haven't ridden the subway a lot recently because of COVID and everything. But like one of the last times I was on it, just some like I don't know if I think he was like drunk and just being an asshole to some like clearly like 16-year-old girls. I actually threw him off off at one stop. Like I started yelling at him. I was just like, leave him alone, and like he was just being a douche. And I just grabbed him like back of the pants collar and just tossed him off at the next stop.
I seen that happen
I
once.
never took my earbuds off. Like I just sat back down. Like it was just like moving on.
I seen that happen in the UK once on
Yeah.
the tube in London, and it was like a similar kind of thing, like this middle-aged drunk guy, and he was like shouting and stuff at some girl or something anyway, and he was told to shut up a few times, and he kept it up and up, but he was standing with his back to the doors, holding onto the thing,
Yeah.
and like some other man or some guy got up and he was like, you need to shut up or sit down. People just want to get home, blah blah.
Right.
And then he starts like talking shit to him, and he starts spitting on the floor. And then like we stop at a station and the doors open and the drunk guy, like he's all over the place, but he's holding on to this thing. And your man just runs towards him and pushes him as hard as he can. He just goes flying out the doors.
Yeah. It's the best. And that's why I love New York. Because after I did that, I like sat back down and she looked at me, she just goes that was it.
Yep.
That was all. And then it was just like moving on. Like that was just a normal thing. I was a little drunk at the time. It's shocking, I know.
Wow, Charlotte's outdoing you here with this story. One time I was in Portland, I was on the train, and someone got stabbed and told everyone not to worry, they deserved it. I mean, fair play.
Charlotte, remember Brant where we used to work? He one day in San Francisco, he was on his way to work and someone just like jumped in front of a train and he was just like standing there and saw it all.
I unfortunately had the fantastic pleasure years and years ago. My aunt that lives in New York at the time, the company she worked for, they had like a storefront in the city.
He did not go to work. Sorry. Brant's a stone cold motherfucker.
And I can't remember why, but we were in the city or something at this storefront building. They just opened it, and of course, just by all these coincidences, we hear all this like shouting and stuff. Look across the street, and there's some chick on the far side of the road, and I don't know what's going on with her, but she runs like out onto the middle of the street into traffic, and a bus.
Oh, bus.
Yep. And you can imagine, it's probably exactly how you imagine it. When I say she went under all the wheels.
Oh.
But I remember at the time I was like so young that it didn't really bother me.
You can't quite
like
process it.
Like,
it damaged you, but you didn't realize it at the time.
Yeah, and I can vaguely remember being like, so is she dead then? Or
yeah.
Is like what's going on with that? I was like, she got run over by a bus.
Yeah, so
yeah, I would imagine she's probably in pieces.
I've seen way too many, like not always live. Like I remember being way too stoned at some random person's house and they threw on something called Too Hot for TV, which I thought was like just gonna see boobs or something.
Yeah.
It was more like Faces of Death.
Wow, great.
Yeah, and just being like as stoned as you can possibly be. And I remember watching this lady get hit by a train and just like evaporating. That still sits with me. That broke a part of me that will never be fixed.
I think, you know what? I think I remember what you're talking about.
It was fucked up because it was like 2 tracks of trains and one was stopped and you couldn't see over and people were like jumping across that were going to work. And she's like it's like coming from the left and she's on the right of this dude who like starts to go and sees it and stops and like pulls back, but she's already committed. And then it just was like, I will never, as long as I live, get that image out of my head. I had to bring everybody down, but that was fucked up.
What does she say? For your own good, get out and forget what you've seen.
I will say, right, I've always kind of been fascinated by the whole exorcism, like scary religious possession thing.
Yeah.
It's always kind of spooked me out a bit, and I'm not religious in any way. I'm not necessarily like I wouldn't even consider myself an atheist. I'm just not really. I don't really care at all about anything.
Yeah. Well, I know that. Well, that's the thing. Like saying you're an atheist is like its own religion in itself.
Yeah, it's like a
Because they're
thing.
also like militant and like, oh, you dummy! Like, how do you not believe?
Yeah, I
or
just
how
don't,
do
I
you?
just don't care.
Yeah, I'm like, prove me wrong. Like, I don't believe in anything, but like, I'm jealous of people who do because like that's got to be comforting.
Well, for example,
Like, I wish I did.
my grandmother is, I wouldn't say she's super religious. I guess she just has that maybe that old school like Catholic Irish upbringing.
Mm.
And she wouldn't, you would never know, but like she, she swears by her rosary beads at night. When she gets into bed, it's like a thing with her. She'll say her prayers for like
Yeah.
10 minutes, and she has her rosary beads for 10 minutes, and the same thing in the morning when she wakes up before she gets out of bed. And like in her mind, that's what's keeping her.
Yeah, and I'm jealous of that.
Yeah, because
Like, I
she's
grew
really
up
like
in a very
wholeheartedly like
religious household. Mike and I used to go to the same church, youth group, and everything. And then a while ago, I was just like, I can't do it. How's the film? I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, no idea. It looks like they may get.
You think this is ever about the film? Like we ever actually watch it? We watch it for the first 10 minutes, and then it's tangent time.
Yep. Sometimes I think back on it afterwards. I'm like laying in bed that night, or like the next day, I'll be like doing something. I'll be like, were we talking about people getting hit by trains last night? How did?
Yeah. See,
Where did that come from?
I'm like a closer or a cornerback. I have no memory of the last play. Anything I record ever, I don't remember. I have no memory of it. It's amazing I don't repeat myself more than I do.
First bit of nudity.
Yeah, what's happening here? I do love like movie and TV sex scenes where they're like under the covers because like
their legs fused together.
Were they?
Is she? Yeah, look, she's like melting into him or something.
I know what execution you're talking about, and I watched that too. Which hadn't. Where they like beheaded a guy. And they didn't do it like with like a sword, like you'd think. They just like took a steak knife and it was,
and a hack it.
Horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I wouldn't have watched that. That was old like E-Bombs World shit. You know?
I've seen way too many of the things.
I had a thought when I was younger. I was like, I'm just gonna desensitize myself to stuff, so I'd like seek it out.
Yeah.
And I have this morbid curiosity. I mean, it's the same thing with horror movies. Like, I don't really want to watch it, but I want to know what happened.
Yeah.
So I'll like read the Wikipedia on every single Friday the 13th, or because I just want to know. I just, for some reason need to know what happened, but I don't actually want to witness it.
There's been a couple of times where, I'd be like giving out about something that's been going on with me or whatever. And then I'll come across something like one of those insane like torture videos or like people getting their hands and legs chopped off or lynched or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I get this really uncomfortable, like horrible feeling like in the pit of my stomach. And then after a while I find myself going around going like, wow, I love my morning cup of coffee. I love my bed. I love
start appreciating.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, I don't have to deal with any of that shit. That's amazing. I should not be complaining. I'm fine.
Actually feels really healthy in the fucked up roundabout way. He was there. Jesus.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fuck, man.
I can't imagine. Yeah, I can't imagine.
Jesus, sweet. Holy hell. That's fucked up, man. I love you, by the way. I hope your friend's okay.
So the dude that I was trying to find out his name for ages.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
It was, what was it?
UDO, whatever that is.
Yeah, I'm the worst at pronouncing names. If your name's not like John Smith,
Yeah.
which
But
I always read the cast list and everything, every movie we do, and half the time I'm just like, I'm gonna.
yeah, you just kind of
I just can't do it. I'll ask JP like before. I'm like, how do you pronounce this? He'll tell me, and I can't hit it. I just can't do it. My dumb American tongue just won't accept it.
He was originally, I think, given the role that Gabriel Byrne has as Satan, and the producers recast him because they didn't want the villain and the hero both to have strong accents.
That's weird.
But then they cast an Irish guy.
That's
So really,
just like that's a perfect studio note. Like we can have more than one accent in this.
yeah, it's like we don't want a German and an Austrian accent.
Yeah,
between
like
the two.
because
Why would it make
audiences will
any
be
difference?
confused or I don't know.
Ooh, that's quite gruesome.
That's kind of fucked up.
This movie is a little bit more horror,
Yeah,
kind of spooky than I would have ever thought.
yeah. Oh shit, this is like pre 9/11 New York too.
Mm-hmm.
That's before my time here.
Screw you, man.
Holy shit! I've been
What
here.
did he say? He was wearing a Satan rules. Hit by a car. Hit by a bus. Oh my god! Wow.
I've been here like 7 years now. Holy shit!
Will you stay there forever?
If I have a family, I'm not staying here. I feel like it's child abuse to raise a kid in the city. Like,
Think so?
yeah, like I just remember being a little kid, especially for not to go gender stereotypes, but as a boy, like all I wanted to do is just like run around and like ride my bike,
Yeah.
like be a maniac. Like you just have a ridiculous amount of energy. You're nuts. You're a crazy person, and you can't do that here. Like I live near a school, and it's like they're in the yard in like a prison. Like it's like a fenced in like area that's
Mhm.
like maybe it was a basketball court or a tennis court at some point, but they're just in this fenced in area and they can't do anything. And I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, and I don't want to live in Jersey or Connecticut, so I'll probably go back to the Bay Area or the West Coast if I have kids. I wouldn't mind Seattle. Kind of like Seattle, but I'd go back to San Francisco too. That place is great.
Not clear. I think it's in English. It's Christ.
There was a lot of people attached to this movie that like left it and stuff. The role of Jericho Cane was originally written.
Okay, I can't get
Oh,
over
yeah.
that. That is so fucking
Like-
amazing.
So ridiculous. That was originally that part was originally written for Tom Cruise.
Oh wow!
Which would
There's
have
no
been-
way Tom Cruise would play a character named Jericho Cane.
I would imagine. So he turned it down apparently for Magnolia.
Tom Cruise is a fascinating man.
Del Toro was offered the director's thing, but turned it down.
Really?
Liv Tyler was offered the role of Christine York.
That's actually really fucking interesting because this feels like someone trying to do a Del Toro movie.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing it, but it's like that's what they want this to be.
I'd be interested to find out why he turned it down. I feel like something like this with his stamp on it would have been quite good.
Christine, Mabel called. She'd like you to get dressed and join me for lunch.
Grazie, Carson.
Grazie. Just a stairmaster in her living room. I see these apartments in New York, and it's like these are $50 million apartments.
Yeah, like this is
Like,
not
what
real.
do you do? It frustrates me. Like 50 might even be like.
Yeah, and like the same goes for even if you go and stay in the city, in a hotel or anything like that. The same goes if you pay like say high 200s, low $300 a night for a hotel room, you're gonna get like a box room that you can barely turn around in.
Yeah, you might get bed bugs.
Like the last place I stayed in the city, I think we talked about this months ago. It's called like the Hudson River Hotel or something like that. And a lot of people say, "Oh, don't out them." Yeah, I will out them because it cost me $350 for one night, and it was a fucking kip. I barely had enough room to open the door and bring a small suitcase in and get onto the
Yeah.
bed. It was terrible, and it was a shithole.
Welcome to New York, baby.
I know, right?
That's what we do here. How'd you get up there? She's like a.
Why are they coming? All right, okay, they probably have something to do with it.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
Why does hold on? Why does Satan have? Well, I guess they're probably like worshippers or something, devil
Yeah,
worshippers.
like acolytes, like
So I was going to say, why does the devil need people?
Yeah, it's like your vampire familiars, Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have your
God,
army.
It's amazing. My school had a forest, and we used to sneak off into the hills and inspect the abandoned farm. Sweet, that sounds like something out of Midsummer.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in Iowa. Like, there was a cornfield right next to my high school.
Do you remember that whole, like, I'm just reading something here about the movie where it says there's several ads in the background about, like, Y2K and are you ready for NY2K and all. Do you remember all that? Like, that whole...
I do remember Y2K being like a thing and then just nothing happened. I mean, it was valid, like, that could have messed everything up, but they spent like billions of dollars to fix everything.
Because what exactly was it? It was so...
It was because when they started computers, the year was 2 digits, not 4. So, like, because they just didn't think that far ahead. So it was only 2 characters, so like 99 instead of 1999, et cetera, et cetera. And it was worried that it would, because computers just know what they know. They're not smart.
Yeah,
they just, and if it was given, it was worried that it would like revert back to like basically 1900,
right,
and just like break the computer's brain, and everything would like be a catastrophe. I mean, it probably wouldn't have been that bad, but like things probably wouldn't have. They probably would have mucked up some stuff. Like things wouldn't have worked as they should have. But again, they spent like billions, trillions of dollars, like just like hiring people to go through copious amounts of code to make it 4 digits.
Like, you wonder who's the first person that's sitting there going, wait, oh shit.
Yeah, right? Like the first guy to go, oh no. To realize that. You're like, wait, what happens now? Because, I mean, you can't blame people back in like the 70s when they're making computers. It's like,
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you're just, especially then, because you're just always trying to save space. Because we're talking like kilobytes at that point, not like terabytes like we deal with now.
Oh, she's an orphan.
So any space-saving measure.
Swede says, where I live is basically Midsummer. There is a village an hour from me where a drunk guy blesses the local children from police and gives them his homemade wine.
That's not good. That's not okay.
No.
Is that the Swedish version of a panel van and candy?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That sounds like a groomer.
It's not good.
Sam Raimi was also offered to direct this movie.
Okay, I need to talk about that, but I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. And absolutely talk about that.
So who's actually in here right now? I see people jumping in and out. Nobody seems to be too active tonight. I know this one's a bit of a slog. End of days, and it's a 20-something-year-old movie, and it's 2 hours long. So it's kind of a tough ask for a lot of people.
No, not really. It's mostly just kind of like a hobby.
Does anyone have any suggestions about a better way of doing these streams, or how to maybe get them out more or get more interactions? I've been thinking about doing some giveaways in the streams. I wanted to do like a pub quiz kind of a thing, maybe once a month, where we have some kind of, I don't know, like some kind of game or a trivia thing where people can get involved a bit more and maybe win prizes. But logistically, I just don't know how to. I mean, I could sit down and actually plan it out, but obviously that requires effort. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, Sam Raimi was offered a director's chair, but he declined to make For the Love of the Game in 1999. Kate Winslet was supposed to play Christine York. Random.
Well, there's a lot about him you don't know.
So apparently there are 3 references to Arnold in this film. Before Satan possesses the man at the start, he is shown in the same blurry way as the Predator. Random. Yo, what's up?
Oh, that was needed. I feel like a new man. So he told me earlier today that I reminded him of like his insane, like some insane family member of his.
He's a local legend, a drunk and a crackhead. He also put up bear traps for the police. They took the cat
Jesus.
from him because they were disturbing the neighbors. He had bought the cats to found drugs. Yeah, I'd probably stay away from him.
He doesn't seem like a good guy.
That's like going to be one of those people that like, ends up murdering people or something.
Yeah.
I'll be 5 minutes.
I'm pretty sure Sweden doesn't allow guns like we do, so that's at least positive. You hear that vacuum going?
Vaguely, barely.
This building actually vacuums, which is nice. My old one, my dog used to get these streaks on the side of her because they didn't clean anything, and she doesn't like stairs, so she stays away. She like hugged the wall, and so she'd rub up against the wall and get these just black streaks. She had like racing stripes.
You wonder how, well, I suppose.
She's so disinterested. She's completely asleep.
Go away. Oh no, it's Tuesday again.
She's had so much enough of me. God bless her. Poor dog. You deserve better, Mike.
The good guys. They're the ones that's supposed to stop the devil worshippers.
I think I'm gonna come to New York in the next couple of months for like a month.
Yeah?
Yeah, for like a whole month.
Fuck yeah. Let's
That's what we
record
need.
all sorts of things.
Yeah, we need to plan some stuff and drink and just.
Yeah, oh, I mean, I'll just hang out too. Absolutely. I would
Because I'm
love
sure you
that.
probably know some fun places to go. It's funny, for as many
yeah.
times as I've been, and I guess this is like a maybe an Irish misconception. You know, a lot of people say to me, "Yeah, but you've got family in New York and you've been there like 50 times, and you know you used to go there 2 and 3 times a year." Blah blah blah. Yeah, right. But I think sometimes people from over here don't understand the concept of like there's a big difference between, say, like Yonkers and the city.
Oh, yeah.
So if I go to the city, I'm like
Like
clueless.
Manhattan's
I
a
don't.
different beast than Yonkers or the Bronx
I've got
or
like no
Queens
idea
or
where I
like.
am. Where's
New
good to
York's
go?
New York's so easy because, well, as long as you stay out of like down like the financial district in the Lower East Side, it's all numbers. Like if you can count, good.
Yeah.
Like when I get into the area where it's all different street names, I'm still lost, and I've been here 7 years. Like I go down there, I'm like, I don't know what Amsterdam is. I don't know what, like, I don't know what any of this is. Give me a number.
On the topic of that, actually, is there like no-go areas in the city that, like, would be commonly known as like, yeah, okay, yeah, nobody goes there?
Honestly, like, not really. Like, I mean, I used to like, I don't know. I did an internship in Connecticut, but lived in the city when I was in college, and like, I had to go through like Harlem. It wasn't ideal. Like I was. See, I just don't like worry about anything. Like I had people like smack me and like get in my face and like yell at me, and I'm just like, like it just doesn't bother me. Like I'm just never afraid for my safety, even when like hands were laid upon me. I don't know. So I might not be the best judge, but like I'm just not bothered very easily. But I mean, nowhere I go is like a problem. I used to date someone that lived in like East Harlem. Like, I'd go up there. I never worried about it, even though I was like the only white person there. Like, I don't know. It doesn't. I just don't worry about things. I also have a maybe misguided belief that I can talk my way out of anything.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that there's always a combination of words that will satisfy any situation.
Yeah, I
I
could
just
see
have
that.
to find them. So I've never been too worried about it. Honestly, like, and I wasn't worried about this either. But San Francisco was probably worse because they have this area called the Tenderloin, which is like right in the middle. Like,
Right.
every so often, I'd like get drunk coming home, and like I'd be on the phone or something, and then realize, oops. You start looking around. It's like needle exchange, liquor store. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
fuck. Oh no, what have I done? But it's only like a 4-block radius, so it's like once you're in it, like you just gotta power through. But again, never like felt for my safety.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, that might be foolish, but I don't worry about things.
We're not standing by any of this advice Josh was given, so don't come back looking to sue him based off of the advice. If anything happens to you, it's your own fault.
Yeah, buyer beware. It's not my problem. Just because I can handle it doesn't mean you can. But no, I don't. I've never felt unsafe in New York, honestly. I think it's actually like ridiculously safe here.
I always try and tell people that, and they try and convince me otherwise because there's so many people. Law of averages would state that there got to be more.
Yeah, I mean, there's crime, of course there is.
Course.
Like, but like, there's 7 million people or some shit like on this couple mile radius island. Like, shit happens. But
You're gonna have issues, but
yeah, but like for the most part, I don't know. I've actually been accosted by like random people like quite a bit now that I think about it. But again, never like bothered me.
You know where I got the worst of it? Out of any time I've ever done anything or went out drinking in the city or been wandering at night, the most probably, and I didn't feel in danger or anything, but probably the most pissed off I've been with people annoying me is Times Square.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm annoyed constantly.
It's just like fucking dudes trying to sell me their mixtapes and all. I'm like, just go away.
Yeah, the key to New York is don't make eye contact with anyone. That's it.
Yeah.
Like if you do that, you're fine. Like everyone will leave you alone. Walk with a purpose and don't make eye contact. You're fine.
Yeah. You don't have to get
like
into
they can spot who's not from there, and like then you're in for trouble. Like if you accidentally make eye contact, you're in for a conversation you don't want to have.
That happened to me a couple of years back, 2017 maybe.
Times Square is the fucking worst.
With a huge group of, I had just bought like new, and it was like pretty late at night, and I had just bought like a new pair of of sneakers or something like that, and I walked out of one of the stores with my back to the street,
Mm.
and I turned and bumped into someone like pretty hard, and I was like, "Oh shit, sorry." And it was this black dude, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it." I was like, "All right, no worries, thanks, sorry." And then I went to go walk, and he said something. I was like, "Huh?" And then, like in a split second, there's like 5, 6 of them standing around me, telling me about their mixtape, and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh no,
Yep.
I've been caught." Shit.
Yep. I know when it's the worst feeling when I'm like, oh no, I'm in it now.
Yeah,
Like I have
and
to
I
deal
just
with
knew.
this.
I
This is
was
the
like,
thing I have to deal with now.
and he was like, "Oh,
Like
you
I
know,
gotta
where
hear
you
your whole
from?"
spiel and your
Yeah,
sales pitch. I'm like, oh man. The other thing I would recommend being here, you have to have a strong fuck off chambered at all times.
yeah, just to be ready to
Like if
like,
anyone says anything or bumps into you or is like shitty and is trying to make it a thing, just fuck off. Like that 95% of the time
that works.
diffuses the situation, which it shouldn't because it's very aggressive. But yeah, it usually works. So no one really wants to like escalate things. Like
Yeah, yeah. They just want the easy route if you're willing to go
right.
like,
And they
okay,
think if they think you're a mark, like they're gonna keep going. But if you get them, you hit them with something like that, they're like, oh, okay, moving on. Like this isn't worth my
yeah,
time. This is not an easy shot here.
it was that experience I had was funny as well because I would have considered myself at the time pretty well versed in all that stuff, and like I had been the people I was with, I was like, don't make eye contact. If you see any people like looking to talk to you about like who you are, or, you know, oh this and that, it's all bullshit. They're looking for something. It's a scam. It's a this and it's that, right? So I was like
I
preaching to everybody.
I still run into that.
I
Like
get caught.
there's because I'm from the Midwest, so like if someone needs help, like I just have that ingrained in me. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
like and they'll do this thing at like the Union Square subway station where it's like regular looking people and they'll come up to you and be like, hey, like, and I'll help a tourist that doesn't know where they're going. Like I get it, the subway's kind of confusing. Like I'll help you out, and they'll come up to you, and then it's a whole spiel of this or that and that. Oh God, those are the people I really let have it. Once I realize what's going on, I'm like, get fucked, eat a dick, go die. Like you're terrible. Like you're keeping what you do makes me not want to help someone that actually could use help. That's why it pisses me off. So I'm more than happy to help, like a someone from Wisconsin that's here. That's just like I
Mhm.
don't get it. Like yeah, I'll tell you this, stop that stuff,
Yeah.
whatever. Because for the most part, you can tell just by the way someone looks or carries themselves or whatever. But when they look like a regular person, you think that's someone you could actually help. That bothers me more than any like homeless person or anything else. Like it pisses me off
And it's like you said,
because
all
you're
they
tricking
need,
me.
yeah, because all they need is
I
that
don't like
one
that.
little chink in the armor, and like that's what happened with me. It turned into like somehow they managed to get out of me that I was Irish and this and that and all, and like for a minute, I
Yeah, you
guess then I
can't
was kinda like,
engage. The second you've engaged,
yeah, I kind of got lulled into it, and I was like, you know what, I'll have a bit of fun with this. It's fine. And I was in like a good mood, and I had some drinks and some nice food, and like
yeah.
we're
So it's
talking.
like, yeah, I'm
And like, yeah,
chatty.
whatever. And like, whoever I was with was kind of laughing about it, and it was like all a big joke. And then it was like, oh yeah, the mixtape, this and that. No. So he hands me the mixtape, right?
Oh,
And
you
I'm
can
like,
never
all right, he's like,
accept it
yeah,
because the second you
yeah,
take it out of their hand, they're like, "Give me money now,"
yeah. So
and
he
they
he
want
gives he's
like
like,
that's in their mind. That's the transaction. It's
eh,
been
yeah,
it's been
yeah,
done,
yep.
and you owe them money now. The
And he's
second
like,
you never take anything out of anyone's hands.
something
Never
about
accept anything.
take it back to Ireland or something, and oh, it's such a cool thing for me, and it'll
Oh,
be. And he's like making jokes with the other guys, and I'm like, all right, okay. And like, I didn't want this thing anyway, but I was
of
like, I
course,
felt like I would be insulting him, so I was like, okay.
right. You can't
And he's
worry
like,
about that.
he's like, my man, I gotta get paid. And I was like,
Yeah,
and I'm like looking at him going, okay. And I
yeah.
didn't like
Good
it
luck
didn't
with
click.
that.
Yeah, it didn't click with me that he was talking about me paying him.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, let me get like $5. And I'm like, what? What do you mean for what? And I was like, no, I'm good. You can have this back. And he was like, no.
Yeah, once
Ooh.
you've accepted, it's over.
And I'm like,
You
right.
almost just
So
have to give them money. It's
yeah,
like
after
you
we
won,
went back and
man.
forth,
You got me.
yeah. We went back and forth a couple of times then. So it ends up I take out $5 and I give it to him. And then another guy he's with is like, wait, but I have a couple of features on there. What about me?
Yeah,
And I'm
it
like,
never
I'm about
ends,
to,
man. Like,
get mugged here without even
you give,
realizing.
yeah. Once you start, they're like, oh, the spigot's turned on, or it's a city full of hustlers. I mean,
$20 I spent on a freaking lipstick I didn't want.
oh, you poor sap.
Anything just to get away. I was like, I'll actually give like $200 if I can just leave.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They get you into a situation where you're just, I want this to be over. I'm
And like,
gonna throw money at the problem and make it go away.
I didn't feel like in danger. Like I didn't think they were gonna like jump me if I didn't pay. But it was
Right,
just
but it's a
you're
weird
just
like,
yeah, I'm done.
yeah, you feel like you just, I get, I'm pretty good, but like people when I walk this dog, like people come up and talk to me because of the dog.
Yeah.
For them, and like I've got some really creative people that have like that start asking me about the dog, and like normally it's harmless, it's just someone talking about your dog, but then like it turns into like, oh, can you give me this? And then I'm like, oh, I see what you did.
Great.
You got me. You fucking got me.
That's the worst though, because like part of me is like, okay,
Yeah.
props for being able to like,
Yeah, like I respect it, but then I'm also pissed off.
yeah,
Not necessarily at them, just at myself for not.
for letting yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, I let this happen. Like if I carried cash, I would give it at that point. It's like you beat me. Like,
Yeah, you win.
Hand up. I got beat. I got
'Cause
God.
I remember we
You
walked
did it.
away after all that happened, and I think everybody wanted to go to like a Dave and Buster's or something. And there's one right in Times Square.
There is a Dave and Buster's there. It's awesome.
So we went in there and we're just sitting
I
there.
love
And
Dave
like,
and Buster's.
I had this weird smile and like I was in like a good mood. And I was like, I don't think I would ever have said I've been in a good mood. And I've basically been just mugged.
Yeah.
It's essentially, like I've willingly been
Yeah,
robbed.
you're mugged without violence. Like that's what it is.
Essentially,
the,
yeah. Because I was like,
It's the
no, I'm not
hustle
gonna deal with that.
you kind of have to respect, and you're like, damn, you fucking did it, dude. Like you got me. Like,
You basically just talked $20 out of my pocket against my will.
exactly. Like my theory that there's always a combination of words to get
Yeah,
you whatever
right.
you want, and there is. And they know that to a T, and they're good at it, and I respect that.
Imagine they're doing that shit all day, every day.
Yeah. I mean, it feels exhausting. Like I'm so ingrained with like never making eye contact and like not paying attention to anyone, so no one fucks with me. Like I'll run into people I know on the street, and like they'll like grab me. Like I've almost punched like good friends of mine because they've like grabbed me, and I'm like it's just the first the reaction is just that, and I'm like, oh, it's you. But I will walk by people I know. I'm sure I've walked by plenty of famous people. It's just like I don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Because I know the second I make eye contact, I'm in for something. Oh, my dog's sleeping and dreaming, and her legs are moving. Oh, I woke her up, damn it. The dog, her legs are. I love that. I always wonder what they're dreaming about.
So Gabriel Byrne was teasing him there by showing him his wife and daughter, I think.
That was great. Where he just looks at the gun and goes, no.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
fuck
like
yeah.
reliving this, is it? Or
That was so good. That was so good.
are his family already dead, or are they only dying now?
I, honest to God, have no idea. I haven't been paying like even the least bit of attention.
I know, yeah, I kind of feel bad because I feel like this movie isn't actually that bad.
No, it's probably not. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know.
Gabriel Byrne's character is a bit more meme-ish than I remembered.
Before memes were a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. He just seems a bit like too comedic.
He's just got like a funny little smirk about him.
Yeah. Swede says, God, I love Sweden at the moment. We have, of course, annoying people and people that want to comment everything and small talk, but this level of social harassment doesn't exist here. We're too introverted. Yeah, Ireland used to be like that. I will say that. Ireland used to be very introverted and like people wouldn't bother people or anything like that. Now we've kind of in the last couple of years taken I think a page out of the States book, and we've been becoming more increasingly mental.
Well, like where I grew up, like it was common for like you just go to the grocery store and you're gonna have conversations with like a number of people, whether you knew them or not. Like it's just like, how you doing?
Yeah,
And,
but
like,
it was never like, how you doing? Pay me $20 for saying that.
right. It was never. They were never trying to like get over on you.
Yeah.
And that's been like the weird thing with being here is like I wrestle with that where it's like I'm used to just people, and like now I'll go back home and someone's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "What the fuck do you want?"
Yeah, go away.
Yeah, I'm a dick because like you kind of, I mean, to live here you have to be a certain amount of dick, like you just have to. So it's a tightrope walk.
Yeah, because if not, like you're just gonna get steamrolled.
Right, and so you have this weird guard up at all times. That you're like, I'm just ready for the worst parts of humanity to come at me in my face. Yeah, I actually haven't really thought about it that much. It's just like it's just part of my day. I don't know, maybe it's harder than I thought.
Do you
It
believe
is
in
funny
death?
because anytime I go home and I talk to someone, tell them where I'm from, they're like, "Oh, I can never live there," which is like a weirdly insulting thing to say to somebody.
Yeah, so what
Like
does
I know
it
where
say?
they're coming from. I know they're Midwest, and like I get it, but also that's like really insulting to say to someone's face. Like it's like I chose to live there. Like
Yeah.
you're just shitting on.
Is
They
there
don't
something?
mean anything by it. They don't know what they're saying. That kind of pisses me off. It's like, oh, I visited, and I could never live there though, but I could never live there. That is a thing that gets repeated over and over, and I'm like, yeah, you couldn't. Oh
Well,
shit!
I'm liking
I like how it
English
heals, but not fully. Like those bullet wounds healed, but
Yeah.
but when it stopped, there was still like a scar. Like, why did you stop there? Like, why isn't it just smooth again?
Heal it.
That's weird.
Do you believe in the devil? Or any of that kind of stuff? That whole like
I think
demonic.
this is honestly why I didn't watch this movie when I was younger, because I was still pretty indoctrinated in like I grew up in a pretty religious household.
Yeah.
And like anytime there's anything like this or like dogma, I was like, it made me uncomfortable. But yeah, I mean, my parents don't know anything about that, and they never will if I play my cards right. But I couldn't tell them. It'd break their hearts. And I don't believe in anything.
Yeah, like now I guess you know, a little bit later in your life, do you believe in the existence of anything like that? You know, like this whole
No,
thing like people say with like spirits or possessions or the devil or all that type
no,
of
I don't. Like, I'm happy to be proven wrong.
shit.
Like, I'm not militant about it. Like, I hope there's something else, but I don't think there is. Like, when I die, I figure I'm just gone.
Dead, yeah. I have
Like
to
when
agree.
religious people ask me, they're like, "Well, so what do you think happens when you're dead?" I'm like, "You remember before you were born?" It's like that.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's like that. Like, happy to be proven wrong. And I like to think I live a life where, like, I'm good to people and, like, my ledger will be in the black, not the red at the end.
I
So
don't know
if
where
there
it's-
is something, I'd like to think
you'll be
I'd be
okay.
on the good side of it. Just because I didn't believe in something a bunch of people told me, which was like an excuse to subjugate people and make money. 'Cause, I mean, let's face it,
Essentially.
that's what religion was. It was a way to keep people in line, and like it was corrupted by human beings because that's what we do.
Yep. Like, I mean, Ireland was one of the countries that really fell for that. Like, I mean, even in say like my grandparents' era,
Yeah.
you would have had to have, like, if you were walking up the path, up the sidewalk, and you know there was like a priest or a bishop or anything like that walking towards you, you would
Mhm.
have to get out into the middle of the road and then like genuflect, like bow till they walked past.
See,
Yeah,
it's
not for me.
yeah. I have a history degree. I don't use it, but I know too much. Like,
Yeah.
like I understand how it was used for the people in power that like to keep people in line, keep the peasants in line.
Yep.
I mean, it is maybe it's real. I don't know. It might be.
Mm.
And
I
I'm
seen
okay
it.
with that. I would like it to be. I hope that like I just don't stop existing. That'd be cool if at the end of this life like there's something more. That'd be great. Fuck yeah.
How would you feel then about that theory of you know, the way they say, like, you know, when you're dying, you start to see like this light at the end of the tunnel and you get closer and closer to it. And there's a theory out there that once you get to the light at the end of the tunnel, you know, it comes towards you and this thing opens up and then you enter the white light and then you're being born again. You're in the delivery room.
I would love reincarnation. Like, I don't believe in it, but I think that'd be cool as hell. That'd be nice.
To not know everything you already knew from your past life, or to know it?
Well, I mean, it'd be great if you knew it, but of course it doesn't work that way. No babies are born like I understand Excel
Yeah.
now. You know what I mean? Yeah, it'd be I don't know. It might actually also be torture to like know everything you know as like an infant and be like, oh my god.
Like the worst.
Yeah, I mean, because you'd be like attracted to Charlize Theron and you're like 2 years old. Like you can't do anything about that. Like, and you'd be an old man, so even like people your own age, you're like, this is weird. Like, you know, it wouldn't be okay. Even when you were 16, you'd still be like 116, and it wouldn't be all right.
Yeah, it'd be strange.
Yeah, like you'd just be like, ew, this is gross. I shouldn't do this.
Swede says, I believe in spiritual multiverse. 25% multiverse theory, 25% Bible, 25% spirits, and 25%
25% aliens. That's fantastic. Again, don't
it,
begrudge anyone who believes anything. I just don't. And I'm also still jealous of it. I wish I believed in something. It was comforting the years that I did. It was nice.
You're exactly like me, though, in the sense of, and I was glad kind of the way you phrased it earlier. It's like, I don't necessarily, when I say I don't believe in anything, I don't necessarily, that's also not my belief.
Right.
Like, I don't go around telling
Yeah, because
people.
atheism's become its own religion.
Yeah, you're right.
And I hate that. It's like, my thought is, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, prove me wrong, great. But I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I am the one you've been waiting for. I am the answer to
And you see all the life on the planet. It's like, these spiders have that too? Like, why are we the only ones? You know?
Yeah, yeah.
It just doesn't compute logically. Doesn't mean it's not right. It just doesn't work in my brain. Oh, this shaky cam.
Yeah.
Why is this happening? That like made me nauseous.
Behold, you have failed. And with your last breath,
These bits of dialogue are actually
Name
quite
of the
good.
movie. As he snaps his neck 360 or 180 degrees.
Oh, this is the devil worshippers, is it?
This is his cult.
Yeah, probably. Again, it's like, why do you have to use weapons? Why, like,
Yeah.
couldn't the devil just kill him?
Right. It's like the antithesis of the power of Christ compels you.
Mommy, what the hell are you doing? Come on, open
Was Kevin Pollak one of them?
Please stop the car. Please.
Running is ridiculous.
Multiverse theory fascinates me.
Multiverse theory fascinates me too, by the way.
I believe angels, Bigfoot, alien spirits are all creatures from the fourth dimension coming through temporarily. A glance into what's behind the other
Yeah,
side.
it's like in the Matrix where they had like werewolves in like a previous version of the Matrix. Vampires. It's just like that didn't work out, but they're still around. I'd be a vampire. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's probably what I'd like to be honest.
Like I prefer night, anyways. I don't need the sun. I mean, I don't want to like eat anybody, but like the living forever and hanging out at night. That seems about right.
And I also don't like people that much.
So I go back and forth. I like say I don't, but I do. I mean, I like the people I like.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
You
just thinking. I
know?
was like, how could I phrase this? I really like the people I like, but like you know, when you were explaining about walking through the city and stuff and walking with a purpose, I just don't like to be bothered by like random people's bullshit. If it's
Yeah.
like genuine, I'm like, just go away. I don't like want to.
Exactly. Like I've learned in my many years on Earth of like you keep the right people around, and everyone else is just like, who cares? It's not worth it.
Let her go. Or I'll kill you. So much anger, so much hatred. We're almost
I mean, you see it in like, it's like I'm not averse to new people. Like I met like you and Sweden, like a number of people, and like I have a pretty good barometer of like you're a good person.
Yeah, if
that
someone
I go by, like, and it's like, okay, you're definitely worth like time spending, and people like certain people are worth like letting in your life and this and that, but not everyone is.
Yeah.
Being able to know who is and who isn't, that takes time.
I'm liking this music.
Okay, I think this is like the only part I've seen where he's like being crucified. Okay, let's take this for a moment. Arnold is being crucified right now.
His daughter, as far as I know, was brought on set that day.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's upsetting.
amazing.
Watch Daddy get crucified.
Yeah, I have no idea why you would think that's a good idea, but apparently so.
That's hilarious, but awful.
Oh, this is the day where he has to do the business with her, isn't it? Between 11 and 12.
His 1 hour window to destroy the universe.
What's the significance of that? I don't understand why it has
I don't
to be
know.
that
Were
amount.
they like trying to play off some like Y2K thing where it's like midnight is?
Yeah, I would
probably
imagine so,
were,
but
right?
why isn't it just any time before midnight?
They must have been. Yeah. Ooh. this one.
Now where are we? This is the Pope again, I assume.
Back of the Pope. Being the Pope now, I think would suck. But being the Pope in like the 1700s would probably be awesome.
Yeah, because you basically just rule the world. Just
Right, and you could like do whatever you wanted. There's no like,
yeah,
no
no
one's like,
repercussions. Yeah,
yeah.
There's just an explanation for
Like those
everything.
popes were like fucking everybody and
Yep.
like doing whatever they wanted. They're rich and famous and like now you couldn't do that. Like someone would be like catch the Pope out.
Yeah, yeah.
With like some Instagram model at a cafe, and they'd be like, "Oh, got him," you know.
Yeah, it must have been crazy for them back then to be in that position of power because they basically could do absolutely anything.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah,
even
like 18th
I
century
suppose-
Pope. That's what you
like
want.
even I would say even into maybe more modern times. I mean, even like
really
the
before like the 70s, honestly.
yeah, because like I feel like
before like people were like you had paparazzi and like
yeah,
people
yeah.
actually like tracking what you did. I mean, like old timey movie stars, they'd get pulled over for drunk driving and they just like escort them home. Like you never heard about it, it never happened. Like they just like let things go because you were famous.
That's hardly footage of the actual New Year's Eve in '99, is it?
Was
This
it?
movie came out before then, though, did it?
I have no idea. Actually, I have it open. Yeah, it came in 1999.
Yeah, so it couldn't have been then.
No, it shouldn't have been. You wouldn't think.
10th of December, 99. Whew, budget 100 million. Fucking hell.
This is $100 million movie.
Whew, that's risky.
Wow. What did it make, I wonder?
211 apparently.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, what's the rule? Like, you double the budget because like marketing and whatever.
I feel like that's a big risk.
Yeah, it's a big risk, especially then. $100 million movie then is fucking lot. Like now, it's like a superhero movie, like a Marvel movie. It's like $250 million. Like, and they don't even blink at it because they're gonna make $1 billion every time. But yeah, back then, that's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, I would imagine. And you've got to figure, like, I mean, Arnie is coming off the back of, he had 2.5 years out of the game, and no one
What
wanted
was his one before this? What did he do before this? I'm curious.
His last
can
movie
look that
before
up.
this was Batman and Robin.
That's right. He said that. Yeah, so his star wasn't shining as bright. Man, that's a bad movie. I love it, but that's a bad movie. I'm really glad we did Batman Forever. That was fun.
That's such a good movie.
And that cut you had. Oh my god.
With that thing, that just made it. That made it.
Yeah, I got to see Val Kilmer fuck a bat. Like, that's all I've ever wanted. I don't ask for a lot in life. But Val Kilmer fucking a bat? It's a bucket list item. I had a few. That was one of them. Another was getting paid to go away and getting paid to play golf. And I got to do all of those. So I'm good. I'm like free rolling now. What is this dude all about? How did he get down from that crucifixion? I missed that completely. He was like 30 stories up, and now he's just like strolling around. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, because he was down and they were like stitching his head. How did he?
Yeah, he's just like fine now. He's just strolling the old subway corridors. I love that that's always a thing too. Like these just tunnels just exist under the city. They're easily accessible. You just hang out down there. Ugh. Oh my god, there's still so much of this movie left. There's still half an hour of this movie left.
How do I feel like nothing has happened?
I'm enjoying myself, but this is unbelievable I expected to be like 10 minutes left.
Like,
there's still 30 minutes left of this. That's a whole act of a movie. What the fuck?
I don't understand the thinking behind having this 2 hours long.
It's unbelievable. Unfucking believable.
And watch now, you're probably going to get like 90% of the movie's action and like any point to anything will all happen now.
I hope so.
And it's like, so we've spent 90 minutes. I don't remember any of this.
Mm-mm.
Was this like under the city?
Yeah, I guess. In the subways that apparently exist, and I always love all the candles. It's like I always think, like, who lit these?
Who walked around before this?
Yeah, like I always think of like the intern, like the satanic intern who's like with the little Zippo, like lighting them all.
Some guy going around like Devil Flanders out of The Simpsons.
Yeah, he's just happy to be there, be a part of it. Okay.
You know this is what you want.
Funny, actually, another thing that I'm just kind of noticing here now. With a lot of those, especially horror movies with those religious like undertones, you know, are always quite sexual, which is kind of a bit strange considering all the things that have come out about the church and.
Oh yeah, well that's what I mean. That goes back like in the Pope, like popes are fucking like
everybody and anybody.
Yeah, so they're like, hey, God wants this, and then like some peasants just like, okay.
Yep, this can get you into heaven.
Yeah, exactly. This is all manipulation.
Wait, who shot her?
He just got a machine gun all of a sudden. This is so good.
He's the devil. Just
trust me.
Oh, then stand with me. I tell you what, you let us both out of here. Now stand wherever you want. Step back or pull the trigger.
Now you leave me no choice.
Oh, interesting.
Go, Jer. Don't look at me like that. You'd be amazed what you agree to when you're on fire.
Oh, nice plot twist.
Kevin Pollak.
You know, considering how you've lived your life, when this is all over, what makes you think you're going upstairs anyways? Huh? Come on, Jer. This is the main event. It's gonna happen. Why shouldn't you have the best seats in the house?
You will never get a shot off, and you know it. Don't do it.
There's certain times like this when we go quiet. I wish I could pull up on the screen what we're saying.
Yeah, to show exactly.
Like why we've gone quiet or why we're like looking at it.
Because Kevin Pollak staring down Arnold, guns drawn. This just keeps going.
What?
Why'd he stop?
Well, I guess the deal's off.
Kill you. Light him on fire.
Good call.
I knew something like that because he said something a minute ago about it. You'd be surprised what you agree to when you're on fire.
So yeah, if I knew I was about to be lit on fire, I would have shot Arnold. Like, no
yeah,
question
whatever.
asked.
Yeah, whatever.
I would have shot anybody if they're like, "Hey, if you don't,
You want to
you're
be
gonna be
on
lit on
fire?
fire." Yeah. Outside of my dog, like I would have shot anybody.
Whoa, what was that?
Hell, I would have rather shot myself at that point. Like I'm not getting
Yeah,
lit
then
on
get
fire. I'm just not getting lit on fire. The gun's going in my mouth. I am not getting lit on fire.
Is that a grenade launcher he had?
I don't know what he had.
Somehow he had a grenade launcher, I think.
Yeah, he's like a M16 with a grenade underneath.
Interesting that that's all it takes to defeat the devil.
Right? It's just an M16 and a grenade launcher.
Yep.
And Kevin Pollak not having the stones to do what he needs to do.
I can kind of see the argument about how dark they lit this movie is. There's times where I feel like you're supposed to see.
It hasn't bothered me. It actually
No, it hasn't bothered me.
Felt like the motif of the movie. Like it feels like it fits. You know?
For me, it works, and I think the reason that there's probably that complaint is there's times where I don't think you see him or some of the characters as well as maybe they.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
and I think
mean,
that's probably
for an
why
Arnold
I'd say
movie where it's like,
yeah,
where it's like he always has to be front and center.
That's what I feel like it is more so.
It's almost like he's out of focus a lot, but it's just dark, so you don't really see his face. But it works for like what's happening.
Kind of looks like Terminator a little bit there.
Yeah.
Load. Only pull the trigger when you're ready.
That's so good.
I like how worn out he looks in this.
Yeah, it's great, right?
Where he's not like
weathered and like
stuff. Yeah.
He's not just Commando where it's like I'm all glistening and spry.
Hair slicked back, clean shaven, like looks perfect.
Yeah, he's weathered as all fuck.
Don't stop. What are you doing? Don't stop.
He's on top of the train. He's got to be, right?
Of course. He's gotta be. Through the floor. Hell yeah. What a climax.
It's just like it's so the whole movie seems so random. It's like what's happening?
I love the like the New York subway stereotype of like the lights flicker on all of that never happens ever. I've never been on a subway that the lights flickered. Like it stops from time to time. You don't know why. The lights don't stop. Lights are just always on.
Separate the cars. Separate the cars.
I also never understood the maniacs who like walk between cars.
Yeah,
Never
again,
done that. But like I'll often post up against like a door and like it just like opens. I'm like, what the fuck? What are we doing? Like, to what end? I never understand it.
Just tempting fate.
Like I get it if you're like doing an act and like trying to make money and it's like or whatever, you know, you're doing your spiel. But almost always it's just like some dude is just walking through. I'm like, what was wrong with that car?
Yeah. What difference has it made?
Yeah, like I get it if it's like I did my spiel to try to get money and now I'm going to the next one. That makes sense to me logically.
Or even sometimes you see people get in one and then like they're like in a rush to get somewhere, So it's like, okay, the train is speeding up the track. Now I'm also going to walk through all the cars to the front as if like
Yeah,
I'm
there's
getting
just no
to my
difference.
destination quicker.
Like, if anything, you want to be in the middle because, like, the front doesn't actually mean you get there sooner. You're probably way off
Yeah.
the track, like to the
Yeah.
stairs. Like, I just don't get it. That's a speed-esque subway flip.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's miniatures, and that's really good. Like, really, really
has
good.
that like
That was really, really good.
90s action feel.
Like, that is underappreciated. That was really good. Because it's like a nothing scene, but that's really fucking good. This is good too, actually.
Yeah.
This is really fucking solid action work. I'm starting to see where the money went. Because that's not cheap. Like, none of that was CGI. It was all miniatures. It was all a real set where it's just crumpling on top of it. That's solid. You can absolutely come on the stream sometime. Sweet.
Yeah, of course.
Not weird to ask at all. You can absolutely come on. Sorry, I was watching the actual movie for a minute. I missed it. You can do whatever you want. You fucking rule. Oh, he's just like guts hanging out.
Can he not just...
I am forever is a great line. Sweet, come up with a movie you wanna do. We'll talk offline.
So that's the devil then, that like hollow man thing.
Yeah.
The devil.
Apparently.
Oh, is the climax here now going to be like right in Times Square with the ball drop or something?
God. So, like,
what are they all devil?
The MacGuffin of this is like he needs to fuck her. Is that?
Yeah, in the next 9 minutes. Yeah, it's a bit strange, isn't it, when you think about it?
So it's really upsetting if you really think about it.
Yeah, because it's like this man is protecting you from being fucked by someone that you don't.
Yeah,
really
to essentially being raped by the devil.
Yeah,
that's insane.
We've spent 2 hours watching a woman cry. And
they spent $100 million on a movie with that being the crux of the plot. Wow.
I vaguely remember this. I was like, there is some sort of a set piece again in a church.
This actually, maybe this is the only thing I've seen.
Yeah,
I do remember like an ending. Like I felt like I saw the end of it, and I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to. I don't need to revisit any more of this.
Yeah, I think this is probably the part that everybody kind of like vaguely remembers about this movie.
Oh, Arnold with that gun and just this cathedral. It's so fucking great.
Oh, he's loading that now.
Like,
oh no. Oh,
like they
no.
don't have like special bullets or anything to kill the devil. He's just got like a regular gun. It's not like some holy water dipped bullets that, like, you know.
Don't tell me now, right? He's gonna put the guns down and like get some sort of like holy,
some Jesus power.
Yeah, or like one of those like staffs or swords or something off the statues.
Oh, I kind of hope he does.
He seems to be looking at the gun.
He seems to be figuring something out. Yep, he's dropping it.
Oh. Don't do something weird now.
I want to see some like Jason and the Argonauts type like CGI where they come out of the wall, like, you know, and they're all just like 2D, just like Jesus comes out with a flamethrower and just fucks everybody up. That would actually be incredible. If she just peeled off the wall like that type of CGI, like the very first, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like the skeleton thing. Like if Jesus just peeled off the wall, like threw a Rambo like bandolier belt of bullets around his chest and just started mowing people down. that movie I would watch. I want that movie.
He was getting ready to pray there, I think, because he says,
Is that what
"Please,
he's gonna do?
please, God, help me, give me strength, God."
See, this is the kind of fight I'd be like, I'd have no fear because it's like right now I fear death because of just nothing. But like there's God and there's the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Like that as this character. So like I'm not afraid of death. Like I'm on the right side. I'm golden. The second I get murked, like I'm going in a good place. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be worried at all. I'd fight the devil easy.
Here,
I mean, I'd get killed, but I'd fight the devil no problem. Because I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to heaven. Fuck yeah. I'm fighting the devil. That's gotta like give me a first class ticket. Not everyone fights the devil. Oh, that's good.
I thought for a second, I was like, don't tell me God is gonna come out and fight.
That's so good.
The score for this movie is quite good.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Oh
wait, what is this?
Oh,
hey then.
Careful, Kilmer's gonna fuck you.
Not really how I pictured the devil.
No.
At all.
That's not great.
Don't talk. Don't talk.
What? What the fuck?
The devil?
What is going on? It just like went into his sternum.
And now it's just like slapping him around.
Oh my god, and he's just oh my god, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, what the hell?
That's pretty awful. There's like 4 minutes left in this movie too. Oh, perfect. Yeah, 57.
Again, now I'm like, how are they gonna wrap this up now in the next like?
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's no time left. Like I don't even know where
wasted 2 hours.
He just got a giant devil bat in his belly.
Yeah, and what was the fight? Like, where's
no? I guess he won
when he said, "Please."
It's like an internal struggle. I don't understand. It's over. It's over. What happened? What? 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 There's got to be more, right? Like, oh, is he the devil?
He's gonna try. Devil.
Oh, he's gonna. Oh, okay. I don't like this.
Bit strange.
Yeah, I don't like this at all.
Oh, I remember this.
I don't like this one bit.
Please, you have to fight him, Jericho. I know you. You're stronger than he is.
Kind of interesting to see Arnie like flip the.
That's why you came back for me. Don't let him win.
Yeah, I mean he's good in this moment. I just don't like the moment.
Yeah, what it is. Why is he shaking?
Arnold can act. I'll die on that hill. He's got some chops.
Oh, that's
yeah. He nailed it. Sword. Is he gonna impale himself?
Yeah. Is he having like? You might be right with the internal struggle there. I think it might be like him and then like the devil in him.
Yeah, I mean that's what's happening right now, right?
Yeah, they're going back and forth. He's trying to throw himself on the sword.
Run. This is solid acting from him. I'll This is ridiculous, but I'll give him that. Like Arnie's a good actor. Yep.
I do not remember that.
Oh my god. That was great. Wow. Okay. That's heartburn. Wow. What?
What is happening? Oh my god. That's like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Kano wins. Oh my god. She's so calm for that moment.
She'll have one final conversation with him, then he'll go, ugh.
Yeah. What? What?
Sometimes he stands up off the sword.
Is that his family? Oh.
Oh,
my
is he
God.
like going? Is he going to heaven now or whatever? Is that why?
I guess. So that's what I mean. Like, you're gonna fight the devil. Like, that's win-win. Either you kill the devil or you go to heaven.
yeah.
Like I hope to fight the devil one day, because then I'm golden either way. Either I kill the devil or I go to heaven for fighting the devil.
Wow, he didn't talk anymore.
That's restraint. Wow. Just fucking wow, man. He's so impaled.
Yeah, he really committed to that.
He's so impaled. He's the most impaled human I've ever seen. Austrian Jesus. Well, I mean, you see those pictures of him on the cross, and he's got abs. So I mean, maybe he was maybe Jesus was the first Mr. Universe. Wow, that's just how it ends. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Strange.
And cut with Times Square. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, hell yeah. That was amazing. That was so good. That was even better than I could have imagined.
You know what? It's weird. It's like, I feel like for a lot of it, nothing happened, and then, but everything happened.
Yeah, I know. I was like, there's like 8 minutes left. How are we gonna do this? And then they did it.
Because when you said
Fucking
like
did it.
we're 90 minutes in, and I felt like nothing really happened at all.
Oh, and so much happened there. Wow, what a choice.
Well, I feel like though they probably could have cut that movie down a bit.
Oh yeah. But
Like, what would the choice?
Kind
have
of
been?
glad they didn't.
No, yeah.
Like, because we got Room to Breathe, where I didn't know I needed room to breathe, and then all of a sudden I wanted that room, but it was just boom, 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 right in your face. Wow, that was awesome. Holy shit. Hey!
There's there is another action-y movie that I really want to watch as well that I haven't seen in
What?
years, and I don't know if anyone remembers it. Do you remember a movie called Deep Rising?
I brought Deep Rising up like 100 times.
Really?
Yes, I brought it up to you. I actually just on our last episode, I brought it up again. I'm like, this is a movie I brought up more than anything else for no fucking reason. I love Deep Rising because that is a movie that starts off as one thing and then takes this turn. Like these mercenaries go to like rob a cruise ship, and it's been just eviscerated by some Shumagorath like tentacle monster.
Love that movie.
It's so good. Anytime I'll do that a podcast, I'll do that a live watch. I love that movie. Fuck yes.
let's
I know I've brought that up before.
let's do that next week, and let's
Done. Let's
yeah, because
watch
I
Deep
feel like
Rising.
that's one that both of us will like as well. I'm actually going to do some research, and we'll have facts and different things
Oh,
as
I
well
love it
to go
so
with it.
much. Like how they escape on jet skis at the end, and it's just
So good.
when they're in the elevator, and it's like girl from Ipanema.
That's actually the that's
I
actually
fucking love that movie.
the thumbnail on Disney Plus over here is them on the jet skis.
Yeah, the jet skis is so good. It's so ridiculous. And then they like make their way to that island, and there's just all sorts of like little tiny little monsters. Like I don't know, it's nonsense, and it's so fucking great.
And I know, like, you know, I probably should save it for next week or whatever, but funny story actually. So Stephen Sommers, who directed that movie, who done The Mummy
Oh, I love the
99
Mummy.
and The Mummy Returns and stuff, that end scene where they wash up on the beach, that was actually shot with the intentions of that being a prequel to a new Kong reboot.
Oh, they were on like Skull Island.
That was meant to be Skull Island.
Oh, see, that makes way more sense because all
you
of a
know
sudden
when
there's
it-
just these creatures. For
Yeah, you know
no
when
reason.
it pans out and you see like all the trees folding
Yeah.
over and moving, that was supposed to be leading into like now they're on Skull Island.
Oh, see, that's awesome.
That would have been
That
so
makes me
good.
like it more.
Yeah, I
Like,
know,
that
right?
movie's like the Poseidon Adventure meets like Predator meets I don't even fucking know. Like it's this amalgamation of nonsense all mixed and matched together.
And it
Oh, it's
works.
beautiful. It's beautiful. I haven't
It-
seen it since I was probably like 14 years old. So
It works, and there's
But
so
I
many like
loved
fun
it.
actors.
I loved it so much. Fuck yeah, we're doing that. Hi, Sweden.
That's one I feel like that's like super under the radar.
Yes.
Doesn't get them.
I have a weird obsession with this movie, so absolutely I'm doing this.
I'm excited for that.
I reference this movie so much. Like it's almost embarrassing how much I talk about this
trying
movie.
to think. I'm trying to think of you bringing this up, and I'm like, but
I know I have because
how did I not like? How did that not click with me to be like?
I
"Yeah,
I
do that."
say it all. I mean, you probably just tune me out because I talk too much, but
I don't know how I didn't click that though with that movie.
oh fuck yeah, I'm excited.
It's so good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll get on that tomorrow. I'll have the artwork and stuff done tomorrow
Yeah.
and the post made.
Yes.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was
Thanks for
fun.
doing
But
this.
I'm
This is
like
great.
super excited for next week now. I'm actually going to do lots of research and try and find out loads of like different quirky.
Okay, good.
Stuff as well.
So I want to go in blind, so I'm glad you're going to do all that.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I
I
want
feel
to
like
go with
that's
the
one of those
childlike
ones.
wonder that I have.
That'll be interesting to see. That if you haven't seen it in so many years, to go back now and see.
It's been so long.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that.
I know, it's gonna be great.
I'd actually like. I'd love to just like log off now and watch it. But
I know, but nope.
Keep it. Yeah,
I gotta be fresh.
yeah,
gotta be
keep
fresh.
it for the week.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so for anyone who's still with us, there is a few still here, lurkers who haven't really been talking at all during the stream for some reason.
Enjoying our nonsense.
We will be doing 1998's Deep Rising next week.
Fuck yeah.
The usual applies. You can see in the ticker down below all the places that Action Movie Book Club is available. The links
I'm gonna
are in the
be on-
description as well for everything.
I'm gonna be on someone's show. Hold on. Coming up. The Jacked Up Review Show podcast.
Oh,
I'm gonna
nice.
Be going on, and they gave me a huge list of things to choose from, and I chose Spider-Man. They think I'm going to talk about the movies. I'm only talking about the comic books.
Interesting. When is
They don't know that. But that's
you
what I'm
haven't
gonna
already
do.
recorded this, have you?
No, I do it on Thursday, so like 2 days from now.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye out for that once
Yeah.
that's up.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to add the links in
be
for
fun.
that. So
I'm a whore. I'll do anyone's show.
I have a few other things actually. We'll talk about it offline.
Nice.
A few different ideas and things to do. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching and jumping in. For anyone watching after the fact, thanks as well for all the support. We'll see if this gets left on YouTube now, actually.
Yeah, hopefully. This
Yeah, and I guess
20-year-old movie.
see everybody next week, I suppose. Links are all down below, the usual.
Keep
And,
rising, baby. Ready to go?